want to welcome everybody here, and knowing that it's such a beautiful day out, isn't it? Ah, it's gorgeous. I love driving here today and the sunshine and everything that is. So welcome to the Spiritual Living Greater Dayton. It is so wonderful here. And what we're about changing the world, beginning with changing ourselves. And that's where we all begin. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And thank you for sharing your morning with us. And on your bulletin, there's a tear-off sheet. And if you will fill that out and just tell us a little bit about you and turn it in at the Welcome Center after service. And you can also ask questions then and get a welcome packet. So our vigil holder this morning is Marty Jacoby. And our interfaith candle lighting will be done by Michael Morrison and Richard Bailey. Because we honor and draw from all world's religious and spiritual traditions, we do this interfaith candle lighting to remind us of the many sources of wisdom available to us. So now, I think we're right on line with the kids,
We
right?
are, yes
All
we
right,
are.
last time we got it straight. So I don't know who's doing children today?
Mark is.
Mark,
And Jen.
okay. And who else? You want to stand up and then, yeah. So, yeah, good.
So Mark is with our 6 to 11-year-olds, and Jen is with our 12 to into the teens.
Very good. So now we're going to sing.
So you're welcome to please join them, and they'll take you back and you have some fun. Back.
A 1, 2, 3. Judaism. Every person possesses one valuable trait that cannot be found in any other. We light the second candle to honor Islam. If we are to emerge from the long shadows that can engulf us, we must talk with each other, come to understand each other, and renew ourselves and our perceptions of each other. We light the third candle to honor Christianity. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependentness of all these living beings, which are all part of one another and all involved in one another. We light the fourth candle to honor Buddhism. Unceasing change turns the wheel of life, and so reality is shown to all in its many forms. We light the fifth candle to honor the indigenous religions. Since the beginning, Native peoples lived a life of being in harmony with all that surrounds us. It is a belief that all humankind are related to each other. Each has a purpose, spirit, and sacredness. We light the sixth candle to honor Hinduism. All differences in this world are of degree and not of kind, because oneness is the secret of everything. we light the final candle to honor new thought. Behind all is a unity, permeating all its diversity, saturating all of its divinity.
Reading today is by Ernest Holmes. The original meaning of sin was to miss the mark, to make a mistake, to err in judgment, or to do something that separates us from the conscious daily realization that we are already one with the supreme giver of life. Let's take these words of wisdom and ponder on them. We are one with the source that is the creator of everything in the universe. That creator is one of joy and abundance and goodness, loving and caring. That is who and what we are. We are part of that. We are part of that love. We are part of that caring and joy and abundance, because that's who we are created to be. And I'm grateful to know that. I know that each person that is here has been brought by divine guidance to be part of this community this morning and to receive the message that they need to receive. I'm grateful for the higher band. I'm grateful for the practitioners. I'm grateful for the people who work with our children. And I'm grateful for love itself. And so I'm knowing that all is in divine order for us, and knowing that all is good, and so it is. Well, today we have a great pleasure. We have one of our practitioners is going to speak to us, and that is Linda Andriaco. So I got to learn a lot about her because I get to introduce her. Linda graduated from Sinclair with an AA in accounting, and she's employed by McPeth Construction. Forgot to write that down, but I remember. So she does that. She also is a graduate of the Ohio Academy of Holistic Health as a certified reflexologist. And she has a diploma as a holistic health practitioner from the Australian Holistic Health. And she is a certified laughter yoga instructor. And she is, at the moment, she is in ministerial school here. Linda came to us and became a member in 2012, and she finished practitioner training in 2015. So Linda is proud of having one son, and she has a 1-year-old grandson who has just turned 1 just last month, wasn't it? Yeah, so let us welcome Linda, knowing that what she's going to share with us will give us words for wisdom. Thank you, Linda.
I'll probably stand here and hold on to this stand the whole time. White knuckle, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, everybody who knows me knows that this is a real stretch for me. So, and especially when I received the topic of prejudice and sin, I'm like, could it have been any worse? So, anyway, sin was a popular topic in the Lutheran Church where I grew up. It seemed like no matter what you did, you couldn't please God. And everything was a sin. So I always wondered, what were you supposed to do? As a child, I remember thinking, how does anybody ever get to heaven? It must be really lonely up there because nobody's doing anything right, yeah? So Was God really that way? Or was that just how to keep everybody under somebody's control? So after high school, I decided I wasn't going to church for a while. I don't know where I'm supposed to stand so it doesn't do that. Because I thought, what good is it doing? It's just making me feel worse about myself. But later on, I decided maybe I should go back and see if there was something that I had been missing, or how I could be a better person and please this God who seemed to be such a harsh parent. And my parents were pretty harsh, so I knew what that meant. So I started teaching Sunday school, mainly to see what I had missed as a child, but it turned out what I remembered was pretty much what was still being taught. So then I got the bright idea of being a Sunday school teacher, and that didn't lead me any place any closer. The new curriculum was just in modern terms instead of old King James versions or whatever. Then I became Sunday school superintendent, so I thought I could have some control over what we were teaching. But everything I suggested got put down, so I kind of left and said, okay, you guys teach kids your way, and I'll just find something else. So since that hadn't satisfied me, I just kind of quit going to church. And many years later, after 2 marriages, both of which were Catholic men, who thought that all you had to do was say some Hail Marys and light a candle for get your way into heaven, and say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, and that you've got points with God. But you had to keep continuing to say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, because there was no way to get away from the sin. So when I found Center for Spiritual Living in 2012, somewhere around there, I thought that people were dreaming with all their love and harmony and brotherhood and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right, what's going to happen? What kind of cult is this? Or what do they really believe? But the more I came to services and saw people and how they truly embraced each other, how they truly cared, you know, instead of just shaking your hand and saying, hi, how are you, and walking on, you stop and talk. And you really connect with people. So because of that, I wanted to learn more. So as you can tell, I'm a perpetual student. It just seems like that's what you're supposed to do. So many classes and lots of questions later, here we are today, me talking about prejudice and sin. And as the reading says, sin is a mistake. It's missing your mark. If we knew better, we'd do better. So we try to hit whatever mark. Thank you, Linda. Prejudice misses the mark. It leaves out acceptance, understanding, harmony, and peace. Being open to new ways of thinking allows us to grow and accept people as they are. It may not be what we want from others, or we may not be that way. But wouldn't it be boring if we were all alike? So we learn to grow and accept people as they are. And isn't that what we want from other people? For them to accept us as we are, not to change us, to like us or love us just as we are? Recently on Sundays after church, Mark and I have been walking around the greens and just talking, getting to know each other better and discussing all kinds of things. And one Sunday recently was a really nice Sunday. And as we came around the corner of one of the buildings, you know, at the greens they have that wading pool fountain thing that the kids play in. There were all kinds of kids there. There were white kids, black kids, some Japanese little kids, Indians, boys, girls, babies, bigger kids. And what were they doing? They were having a great time with each other. They were jumping around in the fountain, chasing each other, laughing and giving each other hugs, no matter if it was the little kids or the big kids. Everybody was just having a great time. There was no prejudice being shown there. They were kids. They didn't care if anybody was better or smarter or anything. It was just them having a great time. What would a world look like through those innocent eyes, for our eyes? Where does that freedom and innocence go? How does it get suppressed? Why does society teach us that some other person is better than us? Or do we think we're the ones better than anybody else? So how can we keep that way of seeing through the eyes of those innocent children that haven't been tarnished with opinions and expressions from others? We run in and out of experiences all the time. We can choose our reaction. We can choose to accept any injustice we see. We can choose to ignore it. Or we can choose to attempt to find a way to change it for the betterment of each person involved. Being open to learning new ways of thinking allows us to grow. It allows us to accept people as they are, and in turn, they accept us as we are. Isn't that what we want from everybody? To be liked and loved just as we are? Some of us received a 27 interactive journal, and the reading for this week is, perhaps we have yet to learn that there is but one race, which is the human race, one family, which is the family of God, and that there is but one God, who is the God of all people. And the value for this month is open communication. And when I saw my subject, I thought, what is open about prejudice and sin? But we communicate openly with others in an atmosphere of collaboration and inclusion. There is a process being taught called nonviolent communication, and this was developed by Marshall Rosenberg. Personally, I think he should change it to caring communication, because somehow the nonviolence thing kind of rubs me the wrong way. But he has a lot of great ideas. Nonviolent communication aims to find a way for all present to get what really matters to them without using guilt, humiliation, shame, blame, coercion, or threats. How many times have we been in a situation where one or more of those have been used to get us to do what somebody else wants us to do? This is showing to be useful for resolving conflict, connecting with others, and living in a way that is conscious, present, and attuned to the genuine living needs of yourselves and others. This nonviolent communication is a way of being more compassionate and living more compassionately in relationship to ourselves and others. It helps focus our attention where we have the greatest chance of discovering connection. And isn't connection what we're all looking for? Just to have communion and knowing that somebody's there and cares. So in this, you state the observations that are leading you to feel the need to say something. Sometimes some people just have to say something no matter what. They're uncomfortable with the silence, so they blurt out something. But in this form of communication, these are factual observations with no component of judgment or evaluation already being set forth. People often disagree about evaluations because they value people or they value things differently. Because we all see things from different places. But directly observable facts provide a common ground for communication. So for example, if someone hears some music and they go over and talk to someone because of the music and it's 2 o'clock, you say, it's 2 a.m. and I hear your stereo playing. States an observed fact. While going over and pounding on the door and saying, it's way too late to be making such an awful racket, makes an evaluation. The person playing the music might not think it's an awful racket, and they might work, and 2 o'clock in the morning is their evening time. So you never know what's going on in the other person's life or mind. Another example given was, I just looked in the refrigerator and saw that there's no food. I am thinking you didn't go to the grocery store. Instead, which is pretty obvious observation. Instead of, well, you wasted your whole day again and there's no food, so what are we going to do? That's what I tell myself all the time, because I hate going to the grocery store. So you state the feeling that the observer is triggering in you, or instead of trying to guess what the other person is feeling, you ask. Naming the emotion without a moral judgment enables you to connect in a spirit of mutual respect and cooperation. Perform this step with the aim of accurately identifying the feeling that you or the other person are experiencing in that moment. Not with the aim of shaming them for their feelings or otherwise trying to prevent them from feeling as they do. Feelings are sometimes hard to put into words. According to Mr. Rosenberg, we spend much of our time thinking about who is at fault in each minute, and what are we going to say next instead of actually listening to what the person is saying while we're there. This is not an effective way to change an unpleasant or harmful situation or to make a pleasant one even stronger. There does not have to be a right or wrong way. And as an accountant, that is hard for me to accept because 1 and 1 always equals 2, and if it doesn't, you're in big trouble. So we need to meet a concrete request for action to meet the need that was identified. Asking clear and specific what you want right now, rather than hinting or stating what you don't want. You need to be clear. For the request to really be a request and not a demand, allow the other person to say no or propose an alternative. You take responsibility for getting your own needs met, but you let them take responsibility for theirs. There's no fixing. There's no judging. Recognize that no one is responsible for someone else's feelings. You are not required to change your actions just because someone doesn't like them. If someone is asking you to bend over backwards or ignore your own wants and needs, you are allowed to say no. You can do things the way you want. Listen, though, to what the other person says. Don't assume that you know how they feel or what is best for them. Only they know that. Instead, let them express their thoughts and feelings. Validate their feelings. Slow down to ensure that they feel heard, and make clear that you care. Actually listen. So think about a current conversation you were having with someone. Were you engaged with what they were saying? Or while they were talking, were you thinking, oh, I need to go to the grocery and I need to get this and I need that, and oh, I need to stop and get gas so I can get to the gas station, and whatever else do I need to do, and oh, what did they just say? I have no idea. Or were you thinking about what you were going to say next and next? Well, if that was me, I would do this, this, and this, or oh, wow, well, where did they ever get that idea? Did you really hear what they were saying? To create change, according to Mr. Rosenberg, The first step is awareness of where you are at this point in your life. Honest awareness of where you are is powerful and gives you power to change your communication if that's what you want to do. So I have a summary here that says, nonviolent communication enhances inner communication by helping us translate negative internal messages into feelings and needs. Our ability to distinguish our own feelings and needs and to empathize with them can free us from depression. We can replace dream-killing language with nonviolent communication and recognize the existence of choice in all of our actions. By showing us how to focus on what we truly want rather than on what is wrong with others or ourselves, nonviolent communication gives us the tools and understanding to create a more peaceful state of mind, thus creating a world that works for everybody. So if you will just take those words into the silence for a couple of minutes. So God is perfect in every way. We are all perfect in our actions towards ourselves and each other. Our words are in harmony with love and the understanding of God. I know we are all expressions of God. I know we are kind and compassionate with our thoughts and our deeds. I am thankful for the growing of consciousness of concern for each other. I am thankful for the freedom to express my thoughts clearly and concisely. So I release these words into the law, knowing that the universe is excited about open communication among the people of every nation, race, and creed. I say thank you, God, and so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, and now I'm supposed to take over the rest of this, so. Go ahead.
So big.
So we are at the opportunity for giving. So we now have an opportunity to support each other as we support this community. Your generosity makes it possible for us to provide connection, spiritual education, and transformation. We are so thankful for your support. Do we sing a song? Will you take, sorry. Will you take your gift? Well, there was a space there. I was like, so there must be something. Will you take your gift into your hands or your hearts and affirm with me? I am joyful.
I am joyful.
I am free.
I am free.
I am grateful.
I am grateful.
I give with gratitude.
I give with gratitude.
And I say yes
And I say yes
to all the good life has to offer.
to all the good life has to offer.
And so it is.
And so it is.
1, 2, 3.
So Judy was kind enough to let me know that I had 2 pairs of glasses on my head, and now I don't know which ones to use now. Anyway, hopefully. So anyway, couple of announcements. Do you want to do yours first, Judy? No? Okay.
That's me.
Oh, you had the, okay.
I said it to Judy.
Yeah, because you did it. So come on over and do
I
it
can do it right
anyway.
here.
Okay.
For those of you who are interested in our youth program and who are actually any mechanically inclined, we would love to have any help. We know it's the last minute, but Carol and I are going out and finishing up our children's swing set. We got a wonderful wooden swing set in, and we've got about 2/5 of it done. And we're just going to build the tower now and put it together. So it's very, very exciting. We can't wait to see the children's faces when they actually get the swing set up. So if anybody's got a wild hair today, some free time, and you're mechanically inclined and want to help, we would love to have that support. And if not, that's okay. Carol and I'll have a really good time anyway. So, but we would love your help. So thank you.
Okay.
In other words, help!
Please. Although I know Becky's much better with a hammer than I am, so you don't want me out there.
She hammers in the morning.
Honestly, this is...
Okay, so if you're able to help with the video camera, which according to this, it pretty much involves putting it on the tripod and pressing the red record button, please see Stephanie Stewart or Jerry Blumgold. Our food bank, according to this, went very well. We donated just over 2 barrels of food and half a barrel of pet and non-food items. So I think great job. And we are going to continue to bring items in all summer. The barrels are going to be moved back to the social hall this week, but right now they're still over there. Our annual canoe and kayaking outing and picnic is coming up Saturday.
22nd.
Is that the 22nd? That would be Saturday, the 22nd. We typically have 30 to 40 people out on the river, and then we gather at the Bellbrook Canoe Rental Place for a potluck around lunchtime. Details are in your bulletin. Kelly, do you want to say anything?
Will be fun, and you don't have to canoe or kayak to do the picnic part. And we'll probably start picnicking around 11:30 noon. You can just show up at Bellbrook, do
Okay.
that little dish, and we're having a meeting.
Today at 12:15.
12:15. We're going to do last minute planning, and then also talk about some of our other fun stuff we're doing.
Okay.
But if you can, and you do know you're going, please sign up so Kelly knows. So there's a discount when we
many?
have a certain number.
Okay. Take a look at the last page of your bulletin insert for the calendar of upcoming events. There's a lot of things happening, including the monthly lunch bunch, yard care team, and bingo at the VA Center will be sometime next month. I don't know the exact date. I don't have my calendar. If you would like prayer after service, our licensed practitioners would love to pray with you. Just look for the people in the white or the teal shawls and ask. The practitioners are very good at seeing the spiritual truth about you. Their gift to you on Sunday is a 1-minute miracle of prayer. You can also put a written prayer request in the prayer box at the table in the back, and we'll pick it up after service. So, after service, for the first 3 minutes, talk to somebody you don't know very well. Find someone and start a conversation. And don't forget to get at least 10 hugs before you leave. Thanks to everybody who made this service possible, our ushers, greeters, practitioners, welcome team, the Higher Mind Band, and you. So please stand for our closing affirmation, and after that, our closing song, Hallelujah. Okay. I am open to love.
I am open to love.
I am open to peace and joy.
I am open to peace and joy.
I aim high.
I aim high.
And I hit my mark.
And I hit my mark.
And so it is.
And